Hello everyone, my name is Derek Cordova. I am going to be talking to you about the writing rope, specifically the syntax strand and how it can be applied to teaching students. Syntax refers to the way groups of words are arranged to form coherent sentences and paragraphs, enabling organized thought and effective communication. Within the writing rope framework, this concept is expanded to include grammar, syntactic awareness, sentence elaboration, and punctuation, all of which play crucial roles in the writing process. By delving deeper into these interconnected strands, educators can build a strong instructional foundation that empowers students to skillfully craft narrative, persuasive, and informative texts. In the learning outcomes, students will explore how syntax, the way words are arranged to form organized thoughts, sentences, and paragraphs, acts as a fundamental building block of effective writing. They will also gain an understanding of the syntax strand within the writing rope framework, which encompasses grammar, syntactic awareness, sentence elaboration, and punctuation, and will learn to integrate these elements into their teaching practices. Additionally, students will develop instructional strategies that utilize the various strands of syntax to help learners create narrative, persuasive, and informative texts, thereby fostering a flexible and thorough approach to writing instruction. Before we really get into this, we need to understand what grammar is and what is syntactic awareness. Grammar is a set of rules that guide how words combine to create sentences. It covers elements such as parts of speech, like nouns, verbs, etc., making sure subject and verbs match, using punctuation correctly, and organizing sentences. Good grammar makes our writing and reading clear and logical. Syntactic awareness means being able to see and grasp how words fit together to make sentences with meaning. It means noticing how moving words around or swapping them out changes what a sentence says. Syntactic awareness is about understanding how language works as a whole, not just as separate words. That's why mentor texts are so valuable. They show real examples of how syntax shapes writing and different writing styles. Now, before we really get into this, we need to understand why grammar and syntactic awareness are so important for elementary students. And clear communication, understanding grammar and syntax allows students to express their ideas clearly and confidently, both in writing and speaking. Reading comprehension, when students know how sentences are built, they can read more smoothly and understand what they are reading. They can figure out tricky sentences and self-correct when something doesn't make sense. Stronger writing, grammar and syntactic awareness help students write complete, interesting, and varied sentences. This makes their stories, reports, and essays more enjoyable to read and more effective at getting their points across. And it builds confidence. Mastering these skills gives students the tools they need to succeed in school and beyond. As they become more comfortable with language, they feel more confident in their abilities to read, write, and participate in class discussions. Next, we have sentence elaboration. Sentence elaboration involves enriching sentences by incorporating details, explanations, or examples to enhance clarity, interest, and informativeness. This approach is a central element of the syntax strand within the writing rope. Students learn to move beyond basic sentence construction using descriptive language, varied structures, and supportive information. For instance, transforming a simple sentence like "the dog ran" into "the energetic dog ran quickly across the green field to catch the flying frisbee" demonstrates how elaboration improves writing quality, allowing students to convey their ideas more thoroughly and captivate their audience. Next, we have punctuation. Punctuation consists of specific symbols that writers use to clarify meaning, control rhythm, and structure sentences for greater clarity and impact. According to Sadida's writing rope, punctuation is considered a vital element in the syntax strand, working in tandem with grammar, syntactic awareness, and sentence elaboration to help students craft well-structured and coherent sentences and paragraphs. Marks such as periods, commas, question marks, and quotation marks help readers navigate the progression of ideas and understanding relationships between sentence parts. For instance, a period concludes a statement. A comma sets off items or clauses, and question marks denote a question. Mastering punctuation is crucial for elementary students as it enhances their clear communication, allows readers to grasp the writer's purpose, and improves the overall clarity and effectiveness of written work. The foundational skills equip students to write more proficiently in various genres, including narrative, persuasive, or informative texts. So my first research article, Complex Syntax Production and Informational Writing by Students with Language Impairment from Diverse Linguistic Backgrounds. This article underscores a pivotal role of information discourse in school settings, particularly highlighting how students must master complex syntax forms to access and express academic knowledge. Informational discourse is described as not just presenting facts, but also about organizing and connecting ideas through explanations, evidence, and coherent sequencing. The article points out that children's ability to understand and produce sentences with multiple clauses, such as those with subordinate relative or complement clauses, directly impacts their success in comprehending and creating informational text. Research cited in the article demonstrates that students with stronger writing skills tend to use more complex sentence structures, which enhances their quality and clarity of their writing. However, children with language impairment or those who are English language learners often struggle with these advanced grammatical structures, resulting in shorter, less varied sentences and challenges in meeting grade level standards. The article also notes that standardized tests rarely assess students' expository discourse skills directly, making language sample analysis a valuable tool for educators and clinicians to evaluate students' abilities and tailor instruction accordingly. The study goes on to provide a nuanced look at how students from diverse linguistic backgrounds use complex syntax in their informational writing. By analyzing the writing of fifth graders, including native English speakers and Spanish speaking ELLs, both with and without language impairment, the authors were able to identify patterns and differences in the use of conjoined subordinate relative and complement clauses. The findings reveal that while all groups use some complex syntax, there are notable differences in the frequency and type of complex clauses used, especially among students with LI or limited English proficiency. These results have important implications for writing instruction. Educators should explicitly teach and scaffold complex sentence structures, particularly for students who may struggle due to language impairment, LI, or limited English proficiency. By focusing on the microstructure of writing, such as clause level complexity, teachers can support all students in developing the skills needed to succeed with informational discourse, ultimately preparing them for the academic demands of later grades. This aligns with frameworks like Sedita's writing rope, which emphasize the importance of grammar, syntactic awareness, and punctuation as essential strands for building strong writers. On Research Article 2, Status of Teaching English Regarding Effective Writing Skills at Elementary Level, Problems and Factors, the article examines challenges elementary students face in English writing with a particular emphasis on the critical role of syntax in language development. The research conducted in Government Boys Elementary School in Punjab, Pakistan highlights that English is a compulsory subject and a key medium for academic and economic advancement. However, students at the elementary level, especially those in grade 8, struggle significantly with writing skills, particularly due to poor command of vocabulary, grammar, and most notably syntax. The study identifies that students frequently make errors in sentence structure, fail to use tenses and punctuation correctly. and have difficulty organizing ideas coherently. These issues are compounded by factors such as insufficient teaching resources, overcrowded classrooms, and ineffective teaching methods, which collectively hinder students' ability to produce well-structured written work. The importance of syntax. Syntax is the arrangement of words and phrases to create meaningful sentences, and it's a foundational for clear and effective writing. This article demonstrates that elementary students writing problems are often rooted in their inability to construct grammatically correct and logically connected sentences. For example, students commonly struggle with the correct use of tenses, passive and conditional sentences, and connecting ideas within paragraphs. The research notes that mean scores for sentence structure problems are among the highest reported challenges, underscoring the importance of syntax in elementary writing instruction. The findings suggested that explicit teaching of syntax and grammar, combined with regular writing practice and constructive feedback, is essential for improving students' writing competence. By addressing the syntactical weaknesses early, educators can help students build a strong foundation for more advanced language skills and better prepare them for academic and professional success. The study concludes with recommendations for teachers to integrate more creative writing activities and provide targeted feedback, which can foster both syntactic accuracy and creative expression in young learners. As you can see, I have my example activity one, simple sentences, and this basically just goes over one subject, one predicate, two subjects, and two predicates for a basic understanding of how sentences fit together and the parts of the sentence. My example activity two, compound and complex sentences, this definitely gets a little deeper into the parts of the sentence and how to bring multiple ideas together to create those more complex sentences. And if there are no further questions, this concludes my period of instruction.